Today's episode is sponsored by Spartan Chemical Company. Family owned and operated since 1956, Spartan Chemical is a leading manufacturer of superior and cost-effective specialty chemical products sold through select, trusted distributors. Spartan Chemical makes clean simple. For more information, please visit spartanchemical.com. On Straight Talk today, we have a great episode for you folks. I'm pleased to welcome Johnathan Tal, the CEO of TAL Global, an international security consulting and risk management firm. Welcome, Johnathan. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Jeff. Great to be here as always.
Today's topic is about security, being prepared when traveling overseas. And Johnathan was quoted recently in an article on this topic that we have published in our media brands. So this video is to complement that. But Johnathan, I have a few more questions in addition to what you provided in the article. So if you're ready.
I'm ready.
Okay. Johnathan, my first question is something I've been lax on myself. I've traveled all over the world, business and pleasure. We just like to travel from Italy to Romania to Latvia, all over Europe, down to South America, been to Iceland and Mexico. Train trip from Sweden to France. And you know what, Johnathan, I never thought about security. I mean, the normal stuff, lock your doors, make sure your wallet's put away. How dumb was that for me not to think about security?
It was normal, Jeff, but unfortunately, normal is not good enough for today's world. We have risks that are growing. We have issues that you should be aware of. And really what I would like a traveler to do, particularly if it's a traveler from North America to places like South America, Asia, even parts of Europe, is to be aware of the potential risks and be prepared for them more mentally than doing a lot of stuff on the ground. So it is about you preparing and thinking about what if, because if what if happens, and you thought about it, you'll be a lot better prepared and your response will be better.
Makes sense. Thanks for not dragging me over the coals too much there. But yeah.
Oh, hang in there. Yes, that will happen.
All right. So how do you know if where you're going to go to, where you're visiting is truly safe? Is there a way to measure that?
So let me again start with generality. There's no place that's completely safe. You leave your house, you get out, a car can swing by, and that's the end of your life. I mean, there's no 100% security, but there are sources of information that are free, available. State Department, U.S. State Department publishes reports on a regular basis about various countries, various cities, various locations around the world. You just need to spend 10 minutes of doing research before you go to Bucharest, which is a lovely place, or before you go to Mexico City. Understand how to keep your wallet, what to wear, what not to wear, how to behave, where to go, where not to go, and you will be, I would say, 80% better off than you were before that 10 minutes of preparation. So preparation, it's available, it's free, it's fantastic.
Okay. What makes a person a target for criminals?
So this in your face, that's the number one. That's your cell phone that most people are so dependent on that they don't do heads up, they don't look around them, they don't make eye contact with their surrounding. They're not aware of what's going on around them. When you go obliviously through a street in Milano or in Bucharest or anywhere else, there are criminals that are watching you. And if you stand out and you are clearly not aware of what's going on around you, you are a target, whether it's a pickpocket, whether it's someone who's going to do you harm, someone's going to rob you, mug you, whatever. Pay attention. As soon as you leave your hotel room, as soon as you are in a public environment, whether it's transportation, train, terminal, street, be aware of what's going on around you. That's the number one vulnerability that we are not aware of. So, if you are doing that and you've done your research and pickpocketing is a major issue in Rome, and you're aware of that. You take basic precautions, as you said. You lock your door. You make sure your wallet is put away, and you are aware of your surroundings. Now we're going up to you're 90% better than where you were before.
Okay. No, that makes sense. People are looking down, they're paying no attention, they're distracted. Never thought about the phone being an issue. So,
It's a huge issue,
yeah.
particularly for people of younger generation than you and me.
Hmm. So, a lot of our viewers are Americans. This is the reality of our show that we're on today, but everyone around the world is watching. But are Americans more at risk than other nationalities?
So we yes, the short answer is yes,
Okay.
and it's not just Americans. I think the developed countries are targeted because the when you go to a third world country or developing country, the perception is you have money. You come from America, you come from Canada, you come from the UK, and you're going to Indonesia, you are going to be a target just by the perception that you are coming from a developed country. Now, Americans are even further target. Our culture is very open. We walk with our jewelry, with our expensive watches, with our toys. We stand out. We're loud. We are speaking in English. We don't really make any effort to learn even a few phrases in the local language. We flash our money around. We think that that will get us doors open, which sometimes it does, but it also is making us more vulnerable. The way we dress, the way we stand out in a crowd. It's fine to be an individual and to be, to promote individualism in the US, in your environment, in your town. But when you are in Beirut, don't do that. Be dressed like the locals, behave like the locals, be as low key as you can be, and still be comfortable. And you will be better off from a security and safety standpoint.
Good advice. I think we've all seen shows and movies about kidnapping. Is that a real threat to normal average people, or is it just a rich and famous issue?
It's definitely not just a rich and famous people, but I don't want your listeners and your viewers to think that they're going to get kidnapped if they leave the US. It's rare, but there are some countries that are higher risk. There's something called express kidnapping in South America, which is basically kind of an abbreviated version. You get kidnapped, you're held for a few hours, the amount of ransom is a few $1,000s, and you're out. It's basically a quick crime. You sometimes you are walked into an ATM. You are made to drain as much money as possible. Maybe you're held overnight so that another withdrawal can be perpetuated. And typically you're not harmed, but the trauma and the impact is still significant. There's also something called virtual kidnapping, where and we've had a few cases, and that's about 5 years ago. That was a really up and coming thing. It can come back, where the person actually is not kidnapped, but their loved ones are informed as if that person was kidnapped, and if they don't pay money right now, and they're being held on the phone, you can't hang up. That their loved one will be hurt, and in fact there is no kidnapping. So that happens as well. But clearly, if you are a visible target and you're going into a place where resources are available to do kidnapping, we had a 3-year-old son of a CEO for one of our client companies kidnapped. So those things do happen. Clearly, if you make yourself a target, you're more vulnerable.
Okay. Well, I tell you what, let's wrap up with this. I know the article has all kinds of information, but give us some of your best high-level precautions you would tell anyone who is about to travel.
Be prepared. Learn a little bit about the place where you're going. Get a few phrases. Find out when you are going from one place to the other, where's the police station, where are safe places, which areas you should avoid. Do your research, go to the State Department, go to other information resources, and don't stand out. There's no reason for you to be the most visible target in the street. When in Rome, behave like the Romans, you'll be fine.
Why do you need to wash your hands?
To prevent getting sick and to keep the germs away.
To get rid of germs. Keep your hands clean. If you don't wash your hands, you get all of the germs on your hands. Because there's germs everywhere. Because there's germs in the city that'll pass it around and you'll get very sick. Because of the virus.
If we touch things that have germs on them, we can get ourselves sick and other people sick.
And if you get a germ in your body, it makes you very, very, very sick.
When should you wash your hands?
And before you eat. Eating food. When Mom makes me food, I need to wash my hands really good. After you eat and touch stuff.
After you go to the bathroom.
After the bathroom. After you go potty. Potty. Go potty. And the potty. Or when you go outside. When you get mud on your hands.
And after you come back from the store.
And after you take the trash out.
What is the best way to wash your hands?
The best way to wash our hands is to get our hands wet.
First, you turn on the water.
Take some foamy soap.
Lots of soap and water. 1, 2, 3. 3 pieces of soap.
And rub your hands together for 20 seconds.
Sing your ABCs while you're doing it. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Wash, wash. Make sure you get it between your fingers. You know you have 5 fingers. H, I, J, K, L, M, P. Go in between your fingers, the front of your fingers, and your back of your finger. Rub it in the water really good. Squeeze them to make sure you don't have any germs in your hands anymore.
After you have done that, you rinse your hands off, get all the foamy soap off.
Shake it in the sink.
And dry them.
And then you dry them.
And then you're all clean.
And it's smell clean. All clean.